3, 2, and 1. Okay, jabba jabba dabba do. Apparently, we are like live now. I'm alive, and you're alive, and we're no longer undead. And yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. C.S. Joseph and Jab doing a live stream where we're going to be doing Dr. Phil. So yeah, we are learning how to type Dr.
Yeah.
Phil. Tell us about that a little bit, Jab.
So yeah, well, looking at people to type, and I just sat there going through like a list of like 40, 50 people, and Chase is saying,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
Jay-Z was a choice, and Beyonce was a choice, but nope, Jab's just like, no, man, we have to do Dr. Phil. Like, we have to. Yeah, I mean, he's actually a psychologist with a degree.
I mean, we typed Jordan Peterson. We got to type the other guy.
Yeah. The other guy. The other guy. Okay. Yeah. We really have to do Dr. Phil. So.
Well, I don't know. I've noticed Dr. Phil's been a little bit viral recently. I think PewDiePie did an episode with him on his channel.
You mean Dr. Phil?
No. PewDiePie put a video, made a meme out of one of Dr. Phil's episodes. I believe that's what happened. And, you know, Dr. Phil's interviewed some very interesting people. One of my favorites was the guy who went on with the glasses and smoked cigars and just started saying men were better than women, because that was hilarious because nobody could tell he was a troll.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. To each their own. Like, I can always respect a good troll.
Fair enough. Never not troll.
Yeah.
I
mean, the guy called himself like Dick Masterson or something and made a website, Men Are Better Than Women, and it's like, how is this guy not a troll?
Well, I mean, come on. In terms of mainstream narrative, if you were to, okay, let's be honest. You know that it would be fantastic to see a battle royale debate between Jordan Peterson and Dr. Phil. I think that would be excellent. No. Come on, man.
No, because you're immediately going to think Dr. Phil's dumb because he's got a southern accent. Like, there's a stereotype around southern accents. And, like, I feel like too many of these city folk in your country might immediately assume Dr. Phil's going to lose just because Jordan Peterson sounds a little bit more...
All right. It says the feminist-infested Aussie land, you know, like, okay, whatever, bro.
Yeah, well... We do what we do. Give me a second. Okay. And on that note, yes, we're going to be doing Dr. Phil. Do we have any...
If time permits, we might throw someone else in there too. So just randomly. Right. So we'll find out. But let's find out what the audience's predictions are. Who is Dr. Phil? What types do you guys think? And apparently Max Sargent decided to talk about Gordon Ramsay. We should probably... We may do Ramsay after this. Who knows? I don't know. That would sound fun. Maybe him screaming at somebody. So...
the plate's got so much oil on it, the US is about to invade it.
Wow. All right. You can keep your ESFP out. I'll let you. All right. So format. Let's talk format. We have the 4 methods of how to utilize the type grid for typing somebody. If you don't know what the type grid is, go to csjoseph.life. Front page. Wait a few seconds. A pop-up will show up. Throw in your email. You'll be emailed the type grid so you can follow along with us. Or if you're on the Discord server, which, like, if you're not on the Discord server, what are you doing? Get on the Discord server, sign in, create your account, all those magical things. The link is in the video description, or at least should be, or at least in the description of any of our videos. But go to the Discord server. You can use the command ! type grid, one word, in most of the channels, and then the bot will just give you a copy of the type grid right then and there, and then you're good to go. So here's the 4 methods that we use. We look at cognitive axes for cognitive axis analysis. I haven't lectured on this method quite yet, which is why I'm kind of like voodoo-ish about it instead of like kind of like really defining what this means. But this is going to be talked about heavily in season 17 and 18, just around the corner. I think I'm doing another episode of season 21 tonight or tomorrow, so just watch out for that. And then also season 10, we're going to keep moving on with season 10. Also, we released one lecture for season 14, Patreon private. It was the third golden pair, so ENTJs, INTPs. If you guys are missing out on those romantic compatibility videos, now's the time to get in to watch that lecture. It's available. We're also doing another one of season 4 before the month is out. Also, we have our private How to Type stream coming out soon, and the monthly conference as well. That is going to be scheduled for next weekend, so be aware of that. So we're going to be doing that next weekend. And then I think we're probably at the next one like 2 weeks after that. But anyway, yeah, cognitive access analysis. We're also looking at quadras that we talked about heavily in season 17. I think this is more of a season 18 thing, but this is season 17. And we already have communication styles, hashtag interaction styles, of course. And then obviously the temperaments analysis. Now, you can type someone with just these two if you want, but it's nice to have these as well as kind of like a way to check from like a references standpoint, right? So, did I cover everything there, Jab, or am I missing something?
No. It's kind of like in mathematics, you have 2 ways to solve a problem. You solve it one way, then you solve it the other way, and then if you get the answer solving it both ways, you've got the correct answer. And that's effectively what we're giving them.
Except it's like, 4 ways. So, not 2. But yeah.
Right.
Cool. I think we're pretty good on that. Yeah, and
I think we're pretty good. So let's just jump into it.
Yeah, let's jump in. I would enjoy Dr. Phil telling me how much of a sexist I am or something, so let's find out.
Right. You, sir, are a sexist.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was terrible.
No, I just got an email from somebody this morning telling me that I was a sexist.
Okay, good. All right, well, let's get going. This is like, I've just randomly clicked a place in the middle of a clip with him at the Breakfast Club. So let's see how it goes. If it's in the middle of a sentence, apologies.
A whole list on how to combat white privilege.
Yeah, I think only thing you can do, this is, when I started the show 17 years ago, people ask me, what are you going to do? I'm going to talk about
when I started the show 17 years ago. That's like that's an SINE statement. Yeah. Talking about the past. Wow. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talk about the past, and then he's like, the only thing you can do, NE, and then he immediately slipped in the past. That's SINE. Awesome, right off the bat. Let's keep going.
Right off the bat, SINE.
The silent epidemics in America. And that's one of the silent epidemics in America.
Silent epidemics of America. That's a TE statement.
Oh.
It's on your mind.
Yeah. See where he's headed. Just like domestic violence and mental illness. I mean, there's a whole lot of silent epidemics in America. That's one of them.
Right. Yeah, just talking about silent epidemics is
more TE.
So NE.
Yeah.
So NE. It's just like.
Really?
Yeah.
ADD.
What?
Well, I mean, like, so you're saying that silent epidemics is like an extrovert intuition component, Jab? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think so, because it's all about the destiny of other people. Because talking about epidemics.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I see that as future of society because,
right.
if you're talking about epidemics, it's
also seeming like immediately direct. So yeah, all right, let's keep going.
Right. And we talk about mental illness a lot. Do you feel like some of that is a fad, and people are just using that as excuses for things?
Well, ADD is what I call a wastebasket diagnosis.
What do you mean?
Another TE statement. Look at those labels he's using. And then also, he seems like very controlled. That's like not very moving. Look at how long he took to respond to that question. Somewhat controlled.
All right, he formulated his answer.
That kid was an out of control brat. Okay, now since we have ADD and ADHD, it has become a wastebasket diagnosis. Anytime a kid is misbehaving, he's ADD or ADHD.
And I hate it.
So let's throw Ritalin at him, and it is so overdiagnosed, it is absolutely unbelievable. And so they throw Ritalin at him, which is a stimulant. Mm-hmm. Because if you got ADD or ADHD, it means that you're underactive in your brain, and so it's not suppressing and inhibiting behavior. So they give a stimulant to activate the brain. If it's already activated, now you just send a kid climbing up the wall. Right. The worst thing you can possibly do. It's overdiagnosed. And so it's a wastebasket diagnosis. To the
Right.
kids that are
I want to jump in there on that one. So he's doing doing more labels, wastebasket diagnosis. But Dr. Phil's also mentioning something, and like, let's go on a tangent here. He's mentioning something a little bit different. If you notice how he's describing, giving this child Ritalin, for example, and then all of a sudden this child is like bouncing off the walls afterwards, or it could have the opposite effect. Ritalin is a mind-altering substance, so just remember, those of you watching, when you give a child or anyone a mind-altering substance, it causes a cognitive transition. And what that does, it's a forced cognitive transition, so it's actually a very negative experience for that specific human being. And then as a result of that, their brain is literally rewiring pathways specifically to handle the load or the stress caused by the mind-altering substance, right? And it could make it could lead to unbalanced behavior in such a way where they end up behaving in extremes because the mind-altering substance is forcing them so far in that transition of their mind that then all of a sudden, when they bounce back into their ego, when the mind-altering substance is gone, it's extreme. And people wonder where bipolar disorder comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's as a result, mostly, based on some of the things that I've read and some of the research I've looked at, as a result of cognitive transitions from unhealthy mind-altering substance abuse. And I'm sorry to say, Ritalin counts as substance abuse in those particular cases. So it's nice for Dr. Phil to point that out to us. Anyway, let's continue.
Right. Okay, let's continue.
And give them Ritalin and send them out the door. But medicine is a high-volume business, and so it's easier to write a script than it is to figure out what's really going on.
Yeah, they tried to put me on Ritalin in middle school, and my father was like, he don't need no Ritalin, he just needs his ass kicked.
Yeah, well.
You might have needed Ritalin, bro.
Yeah.
And ass kicked.
Now, we first were introduced to
Hold on, what you about to say? Doc?
You didn't take Ritalin, did you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was going to ask about mental illness as well. It seems like a lot of people are talking about mental illness, and if something's wrong, that's the first thing. I'm mentally ill. What do you think about that as well?
Well, look, it can certainly be an excuse. And, when I finished my doctoral program, I spent a year, I did a year's postdoctoral fellowship in forensic psychology.
My doctoral program, SI statement, even more direct, still very control. And he initiated that idea. Seems so structure type to me,
Right, but doesn't that also scream E to you, or am I misinterpreting that?
Say again. Say again.
Isn't that also a little bit TE because he's referencing his degree and the fact that he did a postdoctoral degree?
Yeah, absolutely. That is. He's referencing a credential. Yeah, for sure.
And so I've spent a lot of time in the legal system, and I see it used as an excuse an awful lot.
Spend a lot of time.
But I don't want that to keep people from talking about mental illness, because what I've tried to do is push mental illness, mental health to the forefront of the narrative in America, because I don't want people to be ashamed.
Of the narrative in America, that's a very TE statement. TE users are all about trying to get other people to think differently about things, or to think better about things, or to cause other people to become more intelligent as a result of the input that they're providing. So that's also another TE statement. His TE is definitely optimistic and very strong. So for sure.
Right. Let's keep going.
I hate to see people misuse it, because I want people to feel free to talk about mental illness in America, anxiety, depression. People need to talk about that and not feel alone, not feel ashamed, not hide it, get rid of the stigma for mental illness. Because to me, if you've got a mental illness, it is an illness, just like if you had diabetes or a kidney infection or a knee problem, whatever. It shouldn't have any more stigma than any other disease.
He's like, I want people to be free. I want people to have choices, right, with what he's saying. And giving other people choices is actually an extroverted intuition component. So giving them choices, right? Because it's allowing other people to do what they desire, what they want, etc. It's like, oh, hey, you would want to do this. You would want to have this choice, etc. So,
I just found out that anxiety was a mental illness, because I suffer from anxiety. But I didn't put it under the mental illness category until I found out this year about going to therapy.
What did you think it was? What did you think was happening?
I started
with
anxiety.
What did you think?
I got diagnosed.
Very TE. Very, very.
You want to skip on to the next clip? Kind of switch it up here.
Yeah, let's go to this one.
Do you have it, Jab? You still there?
How long it took him to say that.
Yeah.
I feel like a movement person would have cut him off before he finished that sentence and said, beep. No, way earlier. Like, that was so controlled. Like, you could literally see the thoughts just, like, twirling around in his head. Like, wow.
Well, that sounds awesome, except I didn't hear any of that because the bot kicked me out of the channel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
all right.
Let's hear it again.
I'll take you back a little bit.
Went to therapy for sex addiction for 1 week. Does it work that way?
Talking about Harvey Weinstein, by the way.
All good.
Harvey Weinstein, wow. Okay.
It's a family show, Doctor.
Yeah.
So did you see that? So, what's his name? Stephen Colbert asks him, Harvey Weinstein, he went to therapy for 1 week for sex addiction.
Right.
Addiction. Does this work? And there was a fairly decent pause, and then Dr. Phil says, beep. No. I kind of feel like if Dr. Phil were movement, he would have probably cut Stephen Colbert off by the end of it.
Oh, absolutely.
He would. I know myself. If I was in that position, I was just screaming in my head, hell no, at the screen, like three times it took him to say his answer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would see that as evidence for control.
Yeah, I would as well, for sure. And based on like what he's explaining, the fact that he reacted that way, that was a very affiliative reaction because it's more of like a do the right thing point of view.
Right.
He's also been talking about illnesses consistently, different diagnoses, wastebasket diagnosis. He's always following a system. So he's very systematic. Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Family show.
No, come
Dr.
on.
Phil.
I mean, you got a chronic 30-year layered multi-problem that's got so many dimensions you couldn't unravel in 30.
Yeah.
And somebody goes for a week and says, gotcha. No.
Well,
no.
No. I'm familiar with it. If someone a sex addiction thing.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. Now, I will say this. In the industry, there is a big debate about this, and there are a lot of professionals that I have great respect for that will argue that it is a thing. Now, the DSM-5, the American Psychiatric Association Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, doesn't have it in there. They don't recognize it. They don't consider it to be a disorder. A lot of people I respect do. I'm not one of them. I think it's one of those things that when your wife catches you, you go, oh my God, devil made me do it. It's an addiction. I hate it when they say
so
that.
Affiliative.
Right.
Now,
and he does seem rather concrete about that. Like, he didn't even consider the possibility of, like, dopamine imbalance in coming from...
Yeah, for sure.
Sexual.
He hasn't really been that abstract at all. It's just been constant diagnoses, psychobabble,
right,
etc.
Like, earlier it was F no or hell yeah or no.
Very
no.
initiating
yes,
as well.
No. Very binary.
Very binary. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's get some more concrete on the board. I think we're going to have time to do another person on the stream too, so great.
Yeah, I think we should die through pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it's just a form of selfishness.
it is, but when I'm not saying that there's not pathology there, because I think
I'm not saying there's a system of pathology there, very systematic. Okay.
I don't think it's a sexual addiction.
So if someone goes to a sexual addiction clinic or to treat for this, what happens? Does the person say, I feel like having sex, and they go, don't feel that anymore?
Right.
What is it that happens to this person?
Well, they try to get them to identify what triggers the impulse. They try to desensitize them. in order
Very
of saying, okay,
systematic.
think about that, try to calm yourself. They go through a bunch of things where you
Concrete.
have stimuli that normally cause you to act, and they try to get you to not be reactive to
He's
that.
constantly
They try to
saying
get you
what is. He's just like, this is what's happening, or this is what's going on. But it's not abstract. It's just concrete. You know, I'm sorry, but what?
He's just reciting a systematic process.
Yeah. It's definitely a recital. Like it's super concrete. I mean, this guy is not an intuitive. He is a sensor. He's an absolute sensor. And if we're gonna look at kind of axes analyses, so definitely a TEFI NESI user, which automatically places him in STJ NFP land. And given that we've basically proven that he's concrete, he's automatically an STJ. So he can only be an ISTJ or an ESTJ at this point. So, and I haven't really seen responding at all. Direct initiating control, which is structure type, which basically, by process of elimination, the guy's an ESTJ. So, there you go. Like,
you want to leave it at that and do another
I do, because I don't want to bore the audience. You know what I mean? I really don't. And I'll tell you who's next. I'll tell you exactly who we're going to do, because the audience right now is like, oh, no, I thought he was like an ENTJ. And it's like, no, he's not an ENTJ. He's actually an ESTJ. So let's actually do someone that I think is an ENTJ. So let's do Gordon Ramsay. Let's do that.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay. It's a nice little comparison. Let's do it. Let's definitely do that for sure. So, actually, let's get a different color for that. Let's see, which color do I want? Do green. Nice.
Yeah, let's get him on Hot Ones.
All right.
No. Like, I feel like they're going to be the kind of people who are going to like copy strikeouts or something. So let's avoid them. Let's see what we got. Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just getting like really bored of Dr. Phil. STJs could get a little boring, a little dull sometimes, you know, when they're just talking about how they are, and I'm very abstract. I'm just like, you know, but yeah, Dr. Phil compared to Gordon Ramsay, I'm down. I'm definitely down for that, for sure.
All right. Warning, this clip contains strong language.
Okay.
So, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Is there a difference between loin back ribs and baby back ribs?
Steve, you full of bullshit, you know that. Disgusting.
Sausages I'm about to find in Steve's kitchen.
This is all disgusting. There's no question about it.
Come on. Look at that. When was this last cleaned?
I think it was Monday.
I think it was Monday.
No, I'm Friday, because we weren't here Saturday. We weren't here Monday.
Come on. That's not true. You can't be telling me the truth here. I mean, look at that.
Look at
What's in the
that.
sink?
Very SE. Very SE.
And this is where we wash pots, pans.
This
Do you
is
have
where
any
we
idea
wash
how much?
things. SE.
I would say good $80, maybe more.
A $600-700 worth of product there. Bloody hell.
Something worth of product. Okay, that's TE.
That's
TEFI.
the cooler.
Oh, Lord. You bless thy soul. May not come out in one piece.
That's a
The
fancy
smell.
statement.
Jesus Christ. They're sat in blood. They're gone. Shit. What's in here?
What we call a cowboy ribeye and pork
This guy
chop.
is not happy.
It's starting
That's
to turn.
not good. Yeah.
It's starting to turn green. Look how.
Our ribs. Ooh.
It's
Oh
starting
my God.
to turn green.
What's the pork doing with it?
It's very SE.
That's cooked.
Yes, it is.
That's raw.
Yes, it is.
We ate this today.
Yes.
The meat is stinking. You right now are a walking liability.
No, I'm not.
You're costing this restaurant thousands. He's convinced the
Marketing
owner
liability
that what
is an FI statement. Costing restaurants thousands is a TE statement, TEFI for sure. And he's very direct, very, very direct. He's very control based, you know. So it's looking like I'm right. It's just looking like it. Let's do another clip for sure. Maybe
all right, let's see what we got.
Something or something.
the quickest way to a lady's heart is through food. You know that?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Whenever I have a female guest on, I always cook one of my family's famous Italian recipes.
Oh, really? Okay. Let's check it out.
I made one for her.
Esta porquería, pero ¿quién me dio esta porquería? Oye, this tastes horrible. It's disgusting. I mean, who would cook so?
If you're going to work in the morning, you always want to have rum before you drive to work in the morning. Actually, they're quite good. They're quite good. Be right back with Sophia. We're going to Ramsey.
So this is Gordon Ramsay and Jay Leno. Let me just find the part in the clip.
Yes, you did scare us when you were
sorry.
when you were
I
screaming in the
never
room.
screamed like that in real life. You know, I was all
Really?
acting.
Only in the bedroom.
Oh my god!
You would never know. But let me congratulate. Do you know Gordon, by the way?
Yes, I mean, I know who he is, of course,
yeah.
and I've eaten in many of his restaurants.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have that one pancake thing?
No. But you know what? Pancakes are one of my favorite things.
Really?
Bananas too.
Well, bananas and pancakes. Very good. Very good. Now, I want to congratulate you on the Emmy nomination. What'd you get? Best Supporting Actress?
Yeah. Ridiculous. I mean, I cannot run. I have bad knees.
No, knock yourself out.
I was planning. The thing is like
Do the fast-paced walk.
walking. He told me.
On vacation, where'd you go?
I went to Europe. I went to Italy, and I went.
Oh, that's you. Back to your went to
friend to
prosciutto
pizza.
Really?
Pizza like for lunch, dinner, and
He's
breakfast.
like being all behind the scenes right there, like the whole time. He's being behind the scenes. He's not even saying anything. Like,
Great fun.
Must be cognitive transition.
You decide to talk as soon as I get to the Gordon Ramsay part.
Okay, all right. Keep going.
I love pizza.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. It's so diverse and great fun. And you seem like you're enjoying that. You had a whole wedge in your mouth.
Enjoying that. That's SE.
You haven't heard of a knife and fork? No?
You don't eat pizza with a knife and a fork.
You just pick it up and stick it in.
Of course, you have to take it like
Nice SE statement again.
He's English.
Wow.
Come on.
What is it that every time that I come to this show, you have people with accents?
I know. I'm sorry. Can you even understand him?
And you're from where?
From Colombia, but your accent.
Colombia, está bien conmigo, señor.
Okay.
What is happening? Now that's
Please, I'll be able to. No. I
like
mean,
10 pounds?
Whatever.
Where? What? Oh yeah, on American talk shows, you must
have pounds. It's okay. I was on vacation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I hear you love dessert. You big
no one is perfect.
No one. What is it? It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Jay. This is perfect for the English. No, because you don't need your teeth to eat it.
It's a good.
What is it? It means
maybe find a different.
Yeah, this is like just him responding to her because she's
she's like she's a starter type, so probably ESFP. So taking the spotlight off of the other extrovert. So.
Right.
You have a reputation for firm.
You have a reputation.
And somewhat
feisty.
Good to know. I actually have a similar one. Did you know?
Yes, I do. Yes, I get told every day by my daughters.
I get told every day by my daughters. That's SE.
I actually was a production assistant on MasterChef Junior.
Yes.
Yes, I was.
Your team has told
SE.
Did they tell you I'm vegan?
Stop it.
Stop
You're joking. Come on. Stop the jokes. We'll do the jokes later.
Sorry.
Now, you love a challenge.
You love a challenge, SE.
I've been told of some incredible ingredients, and we'll go head to head and have an amazing cook-off.
Yep.
You ready?
Sounds good. Into it we go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Initiating.
Now,
I have so much faith.
I feel at home. On the count of 3, we'll lift our boxes.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
1.
Very unorthodox.
2.
Seems pragmatic.
Your dream box.
Yeah, I haven't heard him say a single affiliative statement.
No.
My dream
Yes.
dates: mushrooms, cauliflower.
I mean, if we go back to that first
Mushrooms,
clip, when he was
given a list of TE.
right, if we go back to the first video, you could think about it like, whenever he was talking about the mistakes that the people were making, it was things that could make people sick, but he was talking about how it was costing the restaurant money. That's more of a pragmatic approach.
Yep.
If he was talking about more along the lines of, this isn't right, you know, you're going to hurt people and you're going to make them sick and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. He's making it about the
That
money.
would be affiliate.
Yeah. Exactly.
But he's all talking about the money. You're costing the restaurant this money, this.
Yep. Well, so far, he looks like he is an SFP NTJ, folks. So far, based off of cognitive axes analysis. Yeah. Oh, is Chase going to be right again? You know? Let's keep going.
This is a vegan challenge.
Vegan challenge.
You just turned Master Chef into a Master Vegan. Are you ready?
Master
Chef,
the Master Vegan.
Why am I doing this myself? Why am I doing this
Go.
myself?
Let's go.
Okay.
Where's my knives? I'll stop here. What? I need my chopping knife. Look who's got in here.
You don't get to
What are you
chop
doing
today,
to me?
buddy.
There they are.
Still direct.
Amazing. Now, when was the last time you cooked this dish?
Actually, never cooked this dish. I'm doing it just by my
When's the
head.
last time you've ever cooked that dish? That's actually an SE statement, checking for experience, basically.
Cauliflower steak. Should be a ribeye steak, not a cauliflower steak. What are
Sorry,
you doing
you're
to
on
me?
my terms now. Again, I
Yes.
feel like you're actually doing a great job of distracting me, and I'm sad that I'm letting you.
Yes.
It's my first time ever zesting a lemon.
Stop it. Come on.
But look, I watch enough of your TV shows to know how to do it and what the tool is. So that's cool.
And you can't read your recipe anymore.
Oh my god, no, you did not!
Initiating.
If you're going to cook with me, I want you to cook with your mind and your mind to go overboard.
Gotta be kidding
I
me,
need to bring out
Gordon.
that innocence.
Just set her recipe on fire.
I need you
Oh
to.
my god, you're the
That's
I need you to
pragmatic.
focus.
No, grandma's
pragmatic.
hair.
Madeline,
So, what happens
if
if
you
I
just go into the equipment room, there's a blast chiller in there. I've got a little present in there for you.
I just put my
Bless
clothes
you,
Yeah, I'll look
man,
up.
I got a present for you.
Through there, right at the very back, the blast chiller. It's the top shelf.
Gordon, how do I get back there?
Top shelf.
It's almost like an ENTJ trying to teach an ENTP how to cook or something. That's like literally what I'm hearing right now.
You just distracted her and swapped the pots with what someone else brought up.
No. I need to go into the store. We'll be back in 1 minute, please.
I need to
You
go in the
okay?
store, following a system.
Yeah.
Jesus. God, she did this to me.
Complaining.
Smells so bad.
TEFI again.
Hey, Gordon.
Yep, coming now.
All right.
Still
Is that
direct.
wine?
Are you really that confident that you're gonna win? That you're gonna go back there and just hang out?
Oh my god.
Let's do a different clip.
Yeah.
That's better. Sorry.
All right. Gordon Ramsay answers cooking answers. See, a lot of these clips aren't good for typing. I'm sorry. I had to pick them out like on the spot.
It's fine. It's fine.
Mariani. Let me have a look at this one.
Welcome to Chef Support. Today, I'll show you the spot.
No, that's not good.
Gordon Ramsay, how are you?
I'm very well indeed, thank you, buddy. How are
There we
you?
go.
Well, you are smart, and this is why you're smart.
I'll turn it down. Thank you, Periani.
You're big over here. You're big in America. You're big everywhere. You're a cook. You're a chef. You're a TV star. You're a multimillionaire. You've got a successful family. You've got everything, haven't you?
Very lucky. Yeah, a lot of hard work has gone into it. And when you get there, of course, you've got to work even harder to maintain it. So, yeah, I do pinch myself.
Sure.
I'm not very good at stopping and looking behind me. I'm too busy moving forward.
Do you have any time to enjoy anything you're doing? Because presumably you're on a plane 1 minute, in a car the next minute. Do you actually have a moment to yourself?
Do you know what? I mean, it's a good question, Alex. Yeah. My time to myself is limited. Very little. You know, I'm incredibly selfish with my work. Everywhere I go, I'm obsessed with getting it right, and I hate failure.
Systematic.
We've had a tough opening in New York. We've come through the doldrums in terms of winning 2 Michelin stars last week, and number one best newcomer for Zagat. So I go in search of pressure. And once I've got the pressure, I handle it brilliantly, and then I make sure that my staff are behind me 110%. So the time I spend on my own is little, but it's quality.
It's so fascinating, having read your first book, to see how this nearly didn't happen. There's almost a serendipity and an element of luck in your failure that's made you this huge star, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. You learn from your mistakes in life, and opening restaurants has got nothing to do with vanity. Although there's a huge population out there that think it's a glamorous industry, but it's not. It's graft and it's live, and it's you've got to be good to survive. Otherwise, you're history. Not just history in terms of closure, but financially bankrupt. So I've been close to the brink.
Right. And that was also a TE statement, like his money management.
Yeah. I got like so much on TE land. So I mean, but basically we already know he's an SFP NTJ, direct initiating control. Right. Just on quadras and communication styles and cognitive axis, we can even ignore the temperaments at this point. But just having these three, we basically already know, he's direct initiating control. So what is the direct initiating control? SFP NTJ? It's automatically, basically, he's an ENTJ. So I'm writing with my right hand like a derp. But
to the people telling me to use the Hot Ones interview, I did see that, but I thought, like big YouTube channel, they might like try and copy strike us or something, and that's not something I'm interested in getting done to Chase.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's just so SE. He's always like, "What are you doing?" or "You did this," or "You didn't cook this meat," or "It's stinking," or it's all about and he's just so upset and very TE, very credential, very money focused, very value focused. What's the value here? He's got his own little cooking system, or there's a system in his kitchen that he's following, etc. And then he's like telling this person like, well, what if what if you cost us money because of your mismanagement of food and this wasn't cleaned and all these things, right? So,
right, that's absolutely pragmatic. I also kind of think that I think the cliche of him screaming and yelling at people is a cliche of ENTJ SE rage.
Yes, it is. SE child rage. I mean, SE child rage is very consistent with that, like to the point where it can be like very overbearing, and like its overbearance can actually go like way beyond just outside of the business realm. I mean, to the point where they just draw the line, because if anyone gets in the way of their ability to give other people an experience in some capacity, then they instinctively think that their freedom of choice is being removed, right? Which can cause them to become even more controlling, which is interesting if you think about it, because both SE child types, ENJs, they are control types, because they're so focused on the outcome of guiding the experience, and it has to be them guiding that experience, guiding the sensation, guiding the situation, basically, that they have to exert some semblance of control, because without that control, they're not able to deliver that experience that their NI parent wants to deliver, basically, right? And then as a result of that, not much going to happen there. You know what I mean? Like it's just not going to happen. So, but yeah, like that's just kind of the situation, but yeah, hands down, Gordon Ramsay is an ENTJ. So to sum up for the audience, we did Dr. Phil, who's an ESTJ, and then the audience initially said, "Oh no, he's an ENTJ," and then I'm like, "No, let's do Gordon Ramsay because I know that guy's an ENTJ," and sure enough, he's an ENTJ. Right. So just to compare for you folks, you can see the difference. Dr. Phil, Gordon Ramsay. They're not the same people, two completely different types. I don't want to hear, like that Gordon Ramsay's an ESTJ. Like, I mean, is it Personality Cafe or Personality Hacker or 16 Personalities? Which website is the one that claims that Gordon Ramsay's not an ENTJ or Dr. Phil's not an ESTJ? Like, it's so funny to me how these people have like these big, huge blog posts on they're completely mistyped. You know what I mean? Like,
16 Personalities has him as an ENTJ. Personality Cafe has him as an ENTJ.
Him as
somebody
Dr. Phil or Gordon Ramsay?
Oh, Gordon Ramsay. Are you talking about Dr. Phil?
Yeah, like one of them was wrong, Forgot which one it was.
There's a Reddit post saying he's 100% ESTJ.
Oh gosh.
I've heard some people type him as an ESTP. But yeah, according to 16 personalities and personality cafes, he's an ENTJ, so I guess they got one right for once. 16 types info. They have him likely as an ISTJ, but I'm thinking this is the socionics typing with the small j, so would that mean they're calling him an ISTP?
Oh, wow, really? Okay. No, that's not how ISTPs work. So, but yeah.
Wait. With socionics, don't they change the other letter at the end compared to MBTI?
They do change it. So, like, for example, an INTJ would technically be an INTP according to socionics, specifically because introvert, intuition, hero is a perceiving function. That's why the lettering system is technically more accurate with socionics than it is MBTI. But we just use the MBTI lettering system for the same reason that Americans decide that imperial is superior to the metric system. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
On this website, they say 40. So of the people who voted, 40.9% say he's an ISTJ according to the socionics ISTJ. 20% say he's an ESTP. And 22% say he's an ESTJ, and I don't think there's a single person here who says he's a ENTJ.
Yeah, that's just false. Like, no, I mean, if we really wanted to see if Dr. Phil was an ISTJ, let's just compare him to a Ben Shapiro, as we found out recently. Like, come on, not gonna work.
Right, I was talking about Gordon Ramsay there. Were you talking about Dr.
they
Phil?
really got that wrong then. Holy smokes. That wasn't even an option listed. Yeah. I thought you were talking about Dr. Phil. I was like, I was giving the Redditors a chance. I probably shouldn't have. So
Right. Dr. Phil, MBTI. Some people... one person saying ESTJ. Someone saying he's an INFJ, I think. Dr. Phil. Let's see. Yeah, I think most people get Dr. Phil right because ESTJs are pretty easy to type.
Right. Let me ask you this, Jab, though. What's Dr. Phil's net worth compared to Gordon Ramsay? I want to know.
That's
a very good question. Let's find out. Let's see.
So Gordon Ramsay is worth about 175 million.
All right, 175 million. Okay.
Dr. Phil is 400 million.
Really? Wow. That was not expected. Holy smokes. Wow. 400 million?
Ramsay was reportedly worth 175 million in 2016, and according to this, Dr. Phil has a net worth of 400 million with an annual salary of 88 million.
Okay.
Wow, so he almost makes as much as Gordon has made in his whole life in like 2 years. And he's been doing this for at least 17 years.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what happens when you're, joined at the hip with Oprah, for a while.
Right, yeah.
So the viewership is like way higher, Because didn't he start out as like a guest on Oprah's show for a little bit, if I remember correctly?
I'm not sure, but he does strike me as the kind of Oprah crowd pleaser.
Yeah, let's see. Literal Best said, I am baffled by Dr. Phil's popularity. Yes, I am too. I'm really baffled.
Honestly, it probably comes from people's desire to see people who they think are less than them be told off.
Yeah, that's a good
point.
And,
and he has to let someone check.
I didn't know Oprah is a billionaire, but fair enough. Yeah, okay. So yeah, true. Dr. Phil technically had better company and did start sooner than Gordon Ramsay. So yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and not only that, Dr. Phil's from the US, and I think a lot of the charm with Dr. Phil is that his Southern accent. I think it goes into the stereotype of Southern people sounding unintelligent, but the fact is he is actually kind of rather intelligent, and he still has that Southern accent. So I think it's the fact that he beats the stereotype is what makes people like him.
Right.
I don't know.
Breaks the mold.
Yes. Right.
I mean, like, ESTJs, I mean, they can be pretty cool. Like, I was talking to one earlier today, and he's, like, super into racing, and one of my former ESTJ friends, I mean, we're still friends, we just don't really talk anymore. He was really, really deep into racing as well, and jumping out of airplanes, and going bungee jumping, you know, so there's, you know, they really like their adrenaline rush, you know, in terms of, like, athleticism, and they can be super athletic, but then you can also have some amazing academics like Dr. Phil at the same time. So,
right.
He's got his, yeah. But yeah,
I guess it comes down to the nurture, like the two roots, whether they develop the subconscious or the shadow. I imagine developing the subconscious would lead to a more intellectual approach, whereas developing the shadow would lead to a more physical, athletic approach. Would I be correct in that, or is it the other way around?
For an ESTJ, absolutely. And like Dr. Phil seems like way more INFP focused, way more subconscious focused, you know, from a psychology standpoint. And that's why, you know, definitely in that direction. Whereas a more athletic ESTJ is more shadow focused, for sure. Although, like, look at Gordon Ramsay, though. He's very ISFP focused. You could tell because, like, on some of those interviews, he was, like, sitting in his ISFP subconscious, being all behind the scenes, letting everyone else talk, etc., until it, like, clearly was his turn to, you know, speak his mind. Or if he got so triggered by what was said, then he'd just interrupt, basically, you know, from a pragmatic point of view, and just let them have it, etc., when he really feels the need to do so. You know, as an ENTJ. Not only that, he has his behind-the-scenes INTP shadow as well. So cognitive transition-wise, ENTJs can get pretty behind the scenes when they need to be, or even when they don't need to be, essentially. And that's just something to keep track of or just be aware of, you know, when it comes to ENTJ behavior, you know. But in terms of Gordon Ramsay, like, which side of the mind does he focus on? Definitely ISFP. Definitely ISFP focused because he's so hell-bent on creating the ultimate artistic culinary experience, basically, and that's what his business and his brand is based on, you know, this ISFP subconscious approach, for sure. So yeah, I mean, I wonder, you know, I wonder what Gordon Ramsay's going to do next, you know, in terms of, or if he's gotten comfortable. I don't know, like.
See, I don't think Gordon Ramsay can become as big as Dr. Phil, because Dr. Phil has made himself like this family-friendly housewife television kind of person, whereas, you know, this housewife kind of television doesn't want to watch Gordon Ramsay screaming at someone for being a slob in the kitchen, because they might personally relate to that. Maybe their husband does that to them. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Whoa. Bit deep.
That was pretty abstract there, Jab. That's pretty abstract.
Yeah, I think
yeah. Oh, Heather Bryant says, I think Judge Judy is also ESTJ. We almost did Judge Judy tonight.
Yeah. We were like, we got Judge Judy and we got Dr. Phil. Who do we pick? And we're like, you know, in hindsight, maybe we should have done Judge Judy just so we could type an ESTJ.
Would have been more fun, hilarious. We got an ESTJ out of it, though. Like,
yeah, but an ESTJ female, I think that would be interesting. I think what we need to do, if we're going to type another ESTJ, try and type someone who's more shadow focused. So somebody who took the physical fitness route.
That footballer Zidane that you're telling me about, I think he might be
Ronaldo.
Yeah. The guy
Zidane hasn't football in like 10, 20 years or something.
The guy
He's
that
the guy who
headbutted that guy? Oh, he's not playing anymore? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, he used to play. He played for France in like the 2000 World Cup.
Oh, fair enough.
Fine. So we've only not typed one type now, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's ISFP that we haven't typed yet, actually.
ISFJ or ISFP?
ISFP and ISFJ. We haven't done either, I believe.
Okay.
To my knowledge.
Well,
here, I'll help you with that, Mike Hart. He's an ENTP. There you go. All right. Okay. So
Bruce Lee, the NTV. I
pick
see.
Jordan Peterson again? No.
Again? Why would you type someone again?
No. No. Yeah, Bill O'Reilly was also a consideration as well. Actually, we talked about that, but I'm like, no, I think Dr. Phil would be a little bit better, and same with the Judge Judy even. But yeah, I mean, so like, why do we care? Like, how does that affect our selection process? So what we've been trying to do is with each of these how to type episodes, guys, is like try to hit all of the 16 types before we double up on some of them. And then like maybe like do some compare and contrast by like adding in multiple people in the same episode, etc., just to like give people the option. Although I think we did like 4 people in the Patreon one, like super quick, and it was really fun. We did like George W. Bush and whatnot, and Hillary Clinton, so that was nice. And we found out like George W. Bush was an ESFJ, and I'm like, wow, that was like literally what would happen if Oprah became president. So like Oprah would be the next W. So just something to consider when it comes to. It would be great to do like a presidential analysis and then compare all the candidates to past presidents just with their type and see if people would like want to vote for them or not want to vote for them based on that data alone. That would be interesting to see. But all right. Well, final judgment, folks. Dr. Phil's an ESTJ and Gordon Ramsay is like an obvious ENTJ. I mean, that's like super obvious. So I mean, just kind of like winged it, you know what I'm saying? But based on that, keep the typing suggestions coming. I think we just need to do like an ISFP and an ISFJ, and then we're basically done filling out all of them. But we're going to try to do like maybe 2 people per stream from now on, just for the hell of it. Either like a comparison or contrast. I have no idea. Just whatever.
Well, what we could do is... we could do maybe the ISFJ and the ISFP in the next one. Periani says he thinks Beyonce is an ISFJ. Maybe we should have done her. Didn't you suggest that to me?
Let's do Beyonce next then. I think that's a great idea. We'll do Beyonce. And besides, like I said, Black History Month, so definitely let's take advantage of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do Beyonce, and who else will we do? Because I think if we have both clips ready,
I want to do Jay-Z with her. Let's do Jay-Z and Beyonce at the same time. Let's do that. I wonder how that would go, and then maybe I could start talking about their relationship. Yeah.
Right.
So
that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
We can type couples.
Yeah, we can type couples
2 in 1.
These too. Yeah, 2 in 1. And then I could like literally tell the audience exactly like their bedroom behaviors or something. Oh gosh, that's bad.
Maybe not their bedroom behaviors, but
I'm pretty good at predicting bedroom behavior when it comes to couples. Trust me. I like it's this one time one of my coaching clients, and then they're like, "What the hell? Do you have a surveillance camera in our bedroom? Are you stalking us?" And I'm like, no, I'm not. I just know shit. That's all it is. I just know things. Whatever. It's like, oh my goodness. You kidding me? Ridiculous. But that's how deep the science can go, folks. You're literally there sitting in a pew at a wedding, and you're watching this couple get married, and you're like, oh, it's going to suck. Oh, it's going to suck. Oh, that honeymoon's going to suck. When you're literally watching an ESTJ and an ISTJ getting married. Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. That's why I kind of usually don't like going to weddings, because I just psychoanalyze everyone at the wedding, and it's just like, wow, this is going to be a train wreck. And of course, while I'm there, TI parents like kind of wanting to tell people that it's a train wreck already before it even starts. And then every child feels guilty when they're like, oh, speak now or forever hold your peace. And then I stand up and I'm like, no, you can't do this. This is psychologically incompatible. You're going to be both very bad in bed. Stop.
Wow. I wouldn't put it past you to have actually done that.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so Celebrity Rooster donated $2 Canadian. Thank you. And that's our good friend, Mega Man fan. and ESTJ versus ESFP and ISTJ versus ISFP video. Maybe we'll see how that goes. So, but yeah, awesome. Thank you all for attending this stream. Sorry it was a little bit more boring than usual, but I guess that's what happens, when we're doing like the ones that we did. But we'll do Beyonce and Jay-Z for the next episode for sure. I think that'll be great. And then also we're gonna have our private How to Type stream very soon, and the monthly conference. The private How to Type stream is going to be Friday night this coming week, and then the conference is going to be on Saturday. So look for those on this coming weekend. Those of you that are patrons, be aware of that. And I think we're going to have another patron episode for Season 14 coming out this week, and an episode for Season 10 and Season 21. And then hopefully I can fit in also the first episode of Season 17 while we're at it. So yeah, anything else, Jab? Are we good to go?
Yeah, I think we're good to go, unless you want to make any other announcements. Do you want to make any announcements on any of the stuff we're doing?
No, not yet. I kind of want to hold off on that, and yeah, we'll hold off.
Next Q&A session we should probably talk about.
Oh yeah, the next Q&A session, which is like literally tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, hopefully on time, which would be about 3 p.m. Eastern. Is what we're shooting for tomorrow. Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern for
3 p.m. Eastern. Add 4 hours to that, so it's probably going to be 7 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks. Thanks. I'm just gonna leave the stream set up so I don't have to like tear it down or nothing, and just leave it here because I don't want to make you write. Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go get something to eat and have another meeting, because that's what I do, is have meetings. And so yeah, but all right. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for our Q&A session.
See you later, ladies and gents.
Have a good night.